YouTube, DarkPhoenix Gaming here, and welcome back to Let's Play Kaiserreich, Legacy of the Weltkrieg, as the Qing Empire. And now that our preparations and redeployments and stuff is all done, we are ready to commence war against Mongolia. And we'll do this through the actual event we have for dealing with Mongolia, as I feel like that's the most dramatic way to do it. After seizing control of our western provinces, only the territory of Mongolia is not under our control. Although many moderate politicians argue that expansion aimed in this direction would bring nothing for our empire, but further extend our still limited forces and force further hardship upon our population. That's a load of nonsense. Mongolia will belong to China again. Besides, it's overextend our forces. We have plenty of forces. They're not gonna get overextended. Don't be stupid. So now, we will just attack everywhere. My usual strategy when I can manage to pull it off, you know. So attack, 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 fucking attack. And now I will stop to lower the game speed from extremely fast to fast. Lots of battles. And we are, of course, winning everywhere. Because reasons. And, of course, our industrial production is still coming in, but... Fortunately for us, right now, we have rather a lot of that industry. 1939 Combat Engineer Brigade is done. We will go for 1945 engineers then. Just max out that whole engineering tree thing. For now, we are basically winning everywhere. Let's see. Don't remind me, I have no interest in any further policy change bullshit. Right now, I want you to just make it to that province. Good. Now you can attack as well, and we can tip the balance over there, where the enemy has rather a lot of forces. But this is not going to be a difficult war for us to win. However, it is a necessary one because Mongolia is somewhere that rightfully belongs to us. So, we need to take back what is rightfully ours. And I am doing just that. Just that. Mongolia is rightfully ours, so we will reclaim it. Even if we are getting, and we're even getting a little bit of extra territory off of it, because the stuff way up north that used to belong to Russia, and speaking of Russia, you'll notice that the war between the Soviets and Japan, Siberia, and everyone is still bloody going on. That's impressive. That the Soviets have managed to make no progress in such a long amount of time. Let's actually check something. They already have 145 industrial capacity though, even though they only own about half their country, not including the Baltics and the Ukraine, all of which are German-controlled or German puppets. So they're not about to get any results out of that anytime soon. That's for damn sure. And yes, we are winning absolutely bloody everywhere. Antibiotics are done, more medical stuff to help our manpower recovery rate. Improved pharmaceuticals we could get, or pharmacology even, but that research is about 6 years ahead of time, so it would just take forever. Basic info theory, on the other hand, improve our ability to surprise soldiers that we attack of the enemy. That I have an interest in getting, I think. Go on then. Basic information theory, please. That province is ours now. You attack up to there. Both of you can head over to there and start your offensives. Now, Mongolia. Looks like their capital is their only remaining victory point, so this war shouldn't last too much longer. Unless they have a victory point that I can't see yet. Basic anti-tank artillery. Okay then. Time to research Heavy Tank Brigade 1943. So we have the ability to build heavy tanks now. I unlocked that research in the interim period while I was just waiting. We have the ability to do that now, but I haven't actually built any yet because having heavy tanks is not all that important, to be perfectly honest. I'm far less interested in it than in many other things. So I can't be bothered. Now, just occupied that place. Go on and attack their capital. You as well, once you make it through there, you can attack the capital. We have a bunch more armored divisions I can deploy, but it's not high on my list of priorities, to be brutally honest. I have other things I'm more interested in than deploying those divisions or building new dudes. It's the new year, yes, yes. Get that out of the way, because I really don't care. Because at this point, we've read all of those New Year text things before. It's just basically flavor text, but I did read through it the first time around. So, since I've read it once, I'm not going to spend the time reading through that a second time, or third time. Because some of them, for one thing, some of them I have read through multiple times. So enough of that. Enough reading through this stuff time and time again. A handful of battles are still going on, but for the most part, we'll win this. All in good time. Improved battleship is finished. And I'm continuing my research into the Navy. Because right now, we're getting our fleet as modernized as we possibly can. You need a promotion to Field Marshal, so you're not getting a debuff to commanding your troops. We want to get our navy up and running properly as soon as we can, because we're going to end up at war with Japan eventually. In fact, I'm banking on that happening sooner rather than later. And the Japanese Navy is one of the largest fleets in the entire game. Unfortunately for us, going up against the largest fleet in the game is going to be a little tricky, and we might not even end up fighting the Japanese at sea. But if we're going to circumvent the sea, we'll need to have a very large and advanced air force. I'll see if we can pull that off, but at the very least, the only actual bits of Japan's territory that I have any interest in taking for myself that's not on the mainland, though, is Taiwan. So, if I can get a big enough air force to at least land some paratroopers and such on Taiwan and take it for ourselves, then I'll be satisfied. And once we do that, as well as knock Japan off the mainland for good, we will call this done. Once Japan has been pushed back, and the Empire has reclaimed its glory, etc., etc. Hello, multi-role fighters. Interceptor 1944 needs practical turbojet engines. I'll work down towards those jet engines so we can get, like, jet fighters and stuff. Great. Apparently, rocket engines, we don't have anyone with that specialty. That's wonderful. We'll just give some random Joe that job, I guess. Oh right, I need to unpause the game for it to continue. I was just sitting there for a second wondering why nothing was advancing, and it's because I'm an idiot and forgot to unpause. Of course it is. Of bloody course it is. Our industrialization project is nearing its completion. It's about 1953 or something is when the last one will be finished. No, 1955. Apparently some of them have been pushed back in their length of time because I decided to do other things instead. But that doesn't especially matter because even without all of them finishing, just look at our fucking industrial capacity. We almost have more industry than Germany and their entire alliance combined. And there goes Mongolia. Their puppet has decided to hang on to something up there, so I'll take that. Apparently I don't even need to. The Chinese flag flies over Urga. Our armies defeated the pathetic Sternberg and occupied his lands. Now Mongolia, which was taken by the Russians when the Empire was weak, is ours again. This is a big day for the Qing Empire. Get claims on all their shit. And Mongolia is ours again. We'll have to reposition our troops, though, to have a decent number of them along the Japanese border. And something interesting you'll notice if you look at the map happened while we were off camera. Delhi and Turkestan have just been going apeshit and went to war against Persia and everyone. So that makes our plan to conquer Delhi in an effort to unite India under our banner somewhat tricky. I might go after Turkestan first. I mean, it would be easy here, seeing as they have a lot fewer victory points. It's Takeshit, Alma-Ata, and their capital is all I would have to take. But I'd probably attack everywhere anyways. But now, we'll get the event about what we want to do with Sternberg soon. The fate of Sternberg. We could give him to Russia, hang him, exile him, or let him live in Peking under permanent police protection. We're not giving him to Russia because that would mean giving him to the Soviets. And they're communist bastards. We do not like or trust them, so they get jack shit from us. This is the Mad Baron of Mongolia, so I don't think we can really trust him to stay alive. And exile seems a little too tame for this lunatic, so I'm just going to say hang his ass. We don't get his tech team as a result of that, but oh well. Bloody oh well. And yes, by this point, we are basically equal, if not exceeding, Germany's entire alliance, including all their puppets, in terms of our industrial capacity. Excellent. Excellent. This is going very well indeed. And let's get our speed back up to extremely fast, and we can go from here. There. More industry coming through. And indeed, we're very fast approaching being done with our industrialization project. In fact, it's effectively finished at this point, even if we're not all the way done with that damn thing right now. Research the next level of artillery so we can get the best possible light tanks. I'll redeploy my troops later. We're going to need some redeployment if we want to take on Turkestan. After all. But for now, we're good. And of course, I have that event. As I click the wrong thing. I have this decision here to start negotiations with the Fentian to claim our homeland back, which will give us an event to negotiate with the Fentian Republic. I plan to do that eventually, to start our whole deal with them with diplomatic negotiations. I mean, I very much doubt they will concede to just meekly become part of the Chinese Empire. But at the same time, if we could get them to agree peacefully, that would be excellent. Of course, all it would mean is that we would have to go to war with Japan later to drive them out of the mainland and retake Thailand. Sorry, did I say Thailand? I meant Taiwan. To retake Taiwan and get them out of Korea and everything. We would have to go to war with them later, because no way are we leaving the Japanese in control of a single inch of the mainland. They cannot be trusted. But now we have an event, the Tuva question. After taking the province of Kembildyur, we were approached by the local leaders. They wished to cooperate with our government and asked for semi-autonomy, so we could grant them freedom or say they can't be trusted. Quite frankly, they cannot be trusted. We're going to keep that region under our direct rule. Besides, they're so small and insignificant that giving them autonomy would be a colossal waste of our time. It's just not worth it. Now, we'll start redeploying, as I very soon will be going to war with those guys. And I want to have everyone in place for when I do that. But we also need soldiers along our new Japanese border. Just in case they decide to try something, you understand. For now, I'll wait for everyone to deploy there, and then move people around depending on what happens next. Military parade in the capital? That's nice. These guys, though, we can redeploy them down there. Park on the Japanese border, as I said before, in case Japan feels like trying something. Don't get any funny ideas, Japan. We are watching your asses. We are fucking watching you. So don't try anything, you idiots. You hear? We got an eye on you. And we are basically the most industrially advanced nation on planet Earth at this point, so if Japan did decide to try anything, we'd basically squish them like bugs. Let's look at Germany's industrial capacity, 354, and look at ours, fucking 476. And we're not even fully finished industrializing yet, and I bet there's a bunch of our factories that haven't fully come online yet. I mean, seriously. They don't have a chance. Semi-fission bomb is done. Going to secret weapons. Fission bomb. Improve our ability to make better nukes, of course. I'm not currently actually producing nukes, and I'm actually going to do something about that. Because I have a nuclear reactor I've had sitting in my queue for ages, and I'd like to do this. Start on reactor production. Get ourselves a whole one nuclear reactor in our country. Be able to start producing nukes. Not that we'll be able to use them right away, because we don't have bombers, so we can't nuke anything yet without bombers. So that's a problem. It is a bit of a problem, indeed. Semi-modern heavy tank research is underway. Basic field artillery, hello. Self-propelled artillery, tank destroyers, so on. Self-propelled artillery. I need to start researching into some other artillery stuff, and again, I just have to say again, I just find it so stupid that we cannot, that we can't actually research a certain type of tank until we've researched some kind of artillery or something. It just strikes me as being really dumb that artillery is a prerequisite to tanks. I mean, in what alternate universe does that make sense? Really? Come on. Yeah, basic information theory. $1960. There, so I'll be waiting. Well, we've gotten to the stage where I can finally research the next level of land doctrines. And make our military better at attacking and defending a little more. Not that we really need it, but still. Anywho. For now, Russia is just basically trying to throw troops at Siberia. Not sure why it isn't working. They have enough of them that should work out for them. Super heavy battleships are done. What's my next research? Some more into battle cruisers, I think. We need to keep on researching better ships, so we have an up-to-date version in case I decide that I want to build some ships for my fleet and actually make our navy be something other than a pretty decoration, because that's all the Imperial Navy is for China right now. It's just there to look pretty, basically. And it is completely and utterly useless when it comes to actually fighting in any kind of war. And that won't change anytime soon, most likely. Yes, everybody and their grandmother are getting upgrades, as we have like 100 something that need to be upgraded. So let's put a bunch of industry into that, so that we can be sending out all the upgrades that we need to our forces. Now, what else do we need? Tank destroyer and self-propelled rocket artillery. I'll get that one then. Or the rocket artillery. And just keep on upgrading. Keep on keeping on. Oh hell yeah. Just keep at it, peoples. Just keep at it. That's more divisions I can deploy. Even more. So I'm just basically throwing my armor into the armies that I have on the border right now to bulk them up a little before we launch our invasion. Now, I'm just waiting a little bit before we invade. Let a few things get in working order. And just look at how insane our production is right now. We're putting like a third of what we have into producing new things. That's how much industry I have access to right now. Like, stop and think about that for a moment. When we started this game, and in fact, even after my first brief period of industrial and military expansion, I still had less IC than Russia starts with. Then Russia. Think about that for a minute. Russia, who starts on par with, like, Brazil in the vanilla game. I had less IC than them at the start of the game. And now I have more than Germany and all their puppets combined. And soon I'll have more than Germany, all their puppets, the Entente, and the United States combined. That is how much I have started to ridiculously steamroll everyone as far as industry goes. Like, at this stage, China is basically the most industrially advanced nation on planet Earth. And everyone else is basically our bitch. Yep. I said it right there. The world is China's bitch in Kaiserreich now. So, congratulations, Japan. You might still hold Manchuria and have some stuff on the mainland, but you are officially China's bitch. I hope you enjoy being China's bitch, because you will always be their bitch. At least as far as Kaiserreich goes. Need to boost my supply output a little bit. Semi-modern heavy tank is done. And just do the semi-modern tank now. Research a better medium tank. Interwar battle cruiser is done. Next will be heavy cruiser. We'll get the semi-modern heavy cruiser. And if you're wondering what I'm waiting for declaring war on Turkestan, I think I'm actually just going to hold off until the start of 1949, and then I will go to war with them. 48 infantry and early rockets are done. So now 48 mechanized can come into our list. And we'll get self-propelled rocket artillery. Be able to get that last level of light tank. Just because I want it, basically. We don't even really need the bloody thing, but I just want it. So I'm gonna research it. Our land doctrine mechanized wave is done. Now, overwhelming attack doctrine. Load more boosts to the defense and attack abilities of our troops in a lot of different terrain types. Assault chance and encirclement chance goes up. So just good all around, really. So let's do it. Let's fucking do it. More industry is done. More dudes can be deployed. And now in October, we'll be getting some more industry and finishing off one of our production lines for industrialization. Now, you folks can do that. It'll be a little bit of a debuff, apparently, even though that's a field marshal. God. Okay, nuclear reactors done. Jesus. I have been playing way too much Hearts of Iron 4. I'm far too used to the idea that being a field marshal means you can command unlimited divisions. Or the fact that field marshals command armies and stuff. I'm far too used to the old ways of doing things in Hearts of Iron 4. The French Empire has annexed Egypt. So the Entente is currently busy overrunning Africa. They'll probably steer clear of Middle Africa, though, because they're a puppet of the Germans. Same with Liberia. But Ethiopia is certainly open if the Entente feels like expanding a bit. Same with Yemen and Oman. And potentially South Africa if they feel in the naval invasion mood, so they've still got a few options available to them. And of course, our divisions are getting stupid amounts of upgrades, because some recent research made them need loads of upgrades. Let's see. The French are establishing a bunch of puppet states in the place of Egypt. Well, when I say a bunch, I mean 2. Sudan and Egypt have been puppeted by the French Empire. Okay, no victory points down in that little enclave, I say. And yeah, for such a large area, Turkestan is really not got a lot of victory points. Whereas after them, we'll have to take care of their puppet down there in the form of Persia. And this is going to... Once I get invested in this whole thing, this will end up being basically the largest expansion of territory to the west that the Chinese Empire has ever done. So, that'll be quite impressive that we'll be pushing that far west. As after that, I think Kurdistan and the Caucasus, as well as maybe Turkey, are on my list of places that I need to take for my own. Then my modern heavy cruiser's done. Submarines, I guess. lot of the submarine-related techs we've kind of been ignoring, just because I'm not all that interested in them. Let's see here. Basic self-propelled artillery, basic tank. Get that 1942 self-propelled artillery, I guess.